thanks, Thal.
Yes, good on yourselves. Well, what is Town Talk? Well, we got a whole heap of information about the town. We get two contestants on air and we ask them, and it's sort of, it's not like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire where we have people who are already millionaires on the show.
No, they're barred.
Wasn't it a classic? Did you read that?
No.
Yeah. A bloke who won Who Wants to Be a Millionaire won $1 million, was already a millionaire to begin with. So they've called...
Jesus, some people are bloody greedy, aren't they? They never give up. Like, no, it really gets under my skin, like these people in, and it's mainly in New South Wales, that are using their first home owners, and they're buying $2 million house and buy it for the kid, put it in the kid's name. Jeez, I don't know, some people...
Anyway, just steering the conversation, if I can, deftly back to Town Talk. We asked...
Oh, well, you brought it up. You mentioned millionaires. You did. You mentioned millionaires. Your fault.
So, here's a bit of a grab from Diane and Mari, who were our last week's contestants. Marie, is it?
Yes. Can't you spell?
Mari has two E's. M-A-R-E-E is Marie.
Is it? I've seen Marie as M-A-R-I-E.
Have you? That's Mari, as in biscuit. Anyway, let's not argue about who they are. They're two women. They were on Town Talk on Friday. Which bridge is between the Tasman and the Bridgewater bridges?
Marie.
Yes, Marie.
Bowen Bridge.
The Bowen Bridge.
There you go,
Marie, I declare ye the winner.
There you go.
Marie.
That was M-A-R-E-E, was it?
Well, that's what I'd spelt it as.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But why have I seen Marie spelt I-E? Somebody's being silly, are they? Or they're being... Oh, I don't know.
Probably just bunging on, I reckon.
Who cares as long as you're happy with the name? Hobart's Mix 101. There's always one in there. Hobart's Mix 101, HOFM.
Mix 101 HOFM, complete news and information for the Customs House Hotel, celebrating 155 years of trading.
It's 6 o'clock, a mainly fine day, now 14 degrees. From the Hobart Newsroom, good morning, I'm Rebecca Dell. In a major about-face, the ruling Taliban Authority in Afghanistan has admitted suspected terrorist Osama bin Laden is in the country and he's under their control. The BBC's Susanna Price reports.
Taliban authorities have now clearly stated that Osama bin Laden is still in Afghanistan and living under their control. There had been suggestions that the Taliban had lost track of Osama bin Laden after they admitted to being unable to pass on a message calling for him to leave voluntarily. The Taliban representative told journalists this message had now been handed over, but there had been no response so far.
Two men suspected of suffering meningococcal infection have improved, with the 21-year-old Tasmanian now in a stable condition under ward care. The 18-year-old Victorian man is still in ICU but has improved, while the 34-year-old Hobart man remains in a critical condition. Good news for 4 young people now in the process of being sent home after previously listed as possible meningococcal cases. Discussions continue today to try to secure a buyer for Ansett. Ansett administrators will continue discussions with 5 parties interested in buying the airline. The revamped Ansett will continue flying the Sydney to Melbourne route today. The federal government has released a discussion paper detailing its opposition to a Labor plan to introduce a national Coast Guard. The paper reveals the concept of a Coast Guard has been strongly rejected by a parliamentary committee, with supporting evidence from all relevant government agencies. Defence Minister Peter Reith says opposition leader Kim Beazley's plan would reduce the Navy to a toothless tiger.
Mr Beazley is proposing a pretend Navy. From the government's point of view, the Royal Australian Navy does a first-class job, and there's no justification for taking people out of the Navy and civilianising work currently undertaken by the Navy.
In other news from the Hobart News Desk, police are investigating the assault on a 50-year-old female last night in Chapel Street in Glenorchy. The woman was walking her 4 dogs when she was struck by a stranger, suffering head injuries. A Launceston man has been charged with murder after primary school teacher Grant Garwood died in the Calvary Hospital yesterday. 38-year-old Riverside man Bruce Jason Smith appeared in an out-of-hours session in the Launceston Magistrates Court overnight. He's been remanded to appear this morning. The state opposition is calling on the Bacon government to help the state's exporters get their produce out of the state. Shadow Transport Minister Sue Napier says freight capacity has to be found in the wake of the Ansett collapse, so producers don't delay their harvest. And Rodney King, whose videotaped beating by police officers led to the 1992 Los Angeles riots, has been arrested again. King has been picked up for allegedly being under the influence of a psychedelic drug and exposing himself. News time 6:03, sport and weather's next.
People living in rural and remote Australia haven't always had a fair go with telecommunications. So the Commonwealth Government introduced a nationwide guarantee. If standards for the time to connect or repair your telephone are not met, you are entitled to compensation, no matter who your phone company is. It doesn't matter whether you live in Queenstown or Quambybrook, Oatlands or Orielton, Rosebery or Ridgely, your rights are protected. To find out more about your telecommunications rights, call 1800 883 488 or visit newconnections.gov.au. Connecting the nation. Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra, spoken by N. Piggott.
Mix 101 HOFM Sport for Metro Tassie Mariners.
The Newcastle Knights have won their second Rugby League premiership with a 30-24 triumph over Parramatta in the NRL Grand Final win at Stadium Australia. Parramatta was looking for its first premiership in 15 years, but suffered a severe bout of stage fright in the biggest match of the season. And in AFL, Essendon full forward Matthew Lloyd says the Bombers were beaten by a better side in Saturday's Grand Final. The Bombers players yesterday gathered at their Windy Hill base for a family day.
Mix 101 HOFM weather for Young's Pine Furniture Sorrel, specialising in pine and Tasmanian oak furniture.
A shower or two possible during the early morning, then becoming fine, mild with moderate norwesterly winds and a possible weak afternoon sea breeze, a top today of 21. Tomorrow a few showers 15, Wednesday further showers 13, showers redeveloping on Thursday 14. Currently in Kingston it's 14 degrees, it's 14 in the city. Hobart's only local and live FM news, HOFM.
Did you say 14 is the max for Thursday?
Yes. And 13 on Wednesday.
Gee, what's going on between now and then? It's not that now, isn't it?
No, that's right. 15 tomorrow, yeah. 13 Wednesday, 14 Thursday, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We're giving away some garbage.
Oh, good, Rick, that's nice.
On our movie grab this morning.
Hey, right.
Yes, it's the Beautiful Garbage CD by Garbage.
Oh!
Yes!
Oh, that garbage.
Yeah, that garbage.
Oh, well, I'm glad you clarified that. It's 6:06. This is Hobart's Mix 101 HOFM. You spot a camera, 62310277. Give us a call. We'll put it to air courtesy of Bennett's Furniture and Bedding.
Hobart's Mix 101 HOFM. Today's better music mix with Cooke and more, and that's In Sync. Well, the bit of Ansets back in the air. The administrators could extend their 12-week ticket guarantee deal with the federal government to take advantage of the Christmas travel demand. Mark Corder, who's the administrator, was on the Win News last night. He was a bit upbeat, I thought.
7,000 bookings till 5 p.m. yesterday, so that's encouraging. We're in difficult circumstances, but that exceeded our first day's budget. We'd like to see how we go the next 2 weeks, and then what we would hope it would be a rolling 12 weeks, so we'll always be taking bookings in advance. That's unequivocal. Everybody understands that. The Ansett Mark II will be a very different airline.
Ansett needs 62% passenger capacity to break even, according to the story in the paper, and they're running at just under 50 at the moment.
Well, it'd be an idea to support it if you can, if you're considering a trip away. I mean, mainly because a lot of people, there's a lot of fingers being burnt.
Yep. And
people would be reticent, I suppose. But nonetheless, if we're to get another airline up and going, it's attractive to a buyer. So all the things come together, don't they? Whilst it's, turning dough over, it can at least stay up there. Everybody cries for it to be there, but we all cry to get on board.
Currently, goods are getting out of the state. There's the council of the Export Council, Chief Executive Jim McCormick, says freight services were coping with experts at the moment, but the volume's going to start to pick up by the end of October, and that could be, a bit of
the cruncher.
Yeah, so, obviously we need the air freight capacity. I mean, these people that are in this industry of export have built it up. Supply, and that was the whole deal of getting into these markets, was that we were able to supply and keep that supply coming through. So
that's where the wheels fall off.
Exactly.
So, like I say, I guess the best thing we can do now is support it and get behind it, get some money in the till.
And if you don't need to travel, perhaps you could give up your seat for some live abalone.
You're
okay.
In spring, the weather starts 26370.
HOFM, 14 past 6 now.
Hobart's only local and live FM news is coming up again on HOFM at 6:30 with Beck. What are your big stories?
8 foreign aid workers, including 2 Australians being held in Afghanistan, have been promised a fair trial. And a new study has found taking a mega dose of vitamin C isn't going to get rid of the common cold. And I'm also $1 richer thanks to Richard.
Yeah, all right. Don't rub it in all morning.
See, there you
Give
go,
your
mate.
money away.
I told you, that vitamin C, bloody bull dust.
Excuse me, Dr. Cooke.
Oh, it's not.
I think
Dr.
taking Megan, it seems to help me. I take vitamin C, garlic and horseradish and all that other
You're
sort of
better off
stuff.
with the garlic and horseradish.
Put all that together, and it seems. I mean, I haven't had a cold this year. I mean, I got a bit of a sniffle, sort of.
No, but you don't know that you wouldn't have had one if you hadn't taken it because you eat properly. Well, sort of ish, you know. I think it's all
Had
a lard
party
that
pies on
keeps it away.
Saturday.
Party pies.
Had party pies
Yeah, so did
on
I.
Saturday at
Powdered
football.
into the party pies
Half-time.
and chicken wings and
Ooh, chicken wings, fancy.
pizza. What else we have?
Pizza?
Yeah,
Gee, the face of football's changed in this country.
and Big Chris comes along with salves.
Good on
He
him.
He walks down the driveway. He's got about half a dozen salves. He says, "Can't watch a grand final without a salve."
Exactly. I believe that man is correct. Can't watch a grand final without a salve.
And Caffrey's.
Well, that's a bit upmarket, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's saving one hand, Caffrey's in the other. 6:14, Cooke and Moore. This is Hobart's MIX101 HOFM. Uncle Quacker, yes indeed. Hobart's MIX101 HOFM, 6:19, Cooke and Moore.
There's a Mr. or Doctor, I should say, Dr. Jeffrey Ibster from the Newcastle Hospital in New South Wales warns that the contents of spiders' stomachs contain powerful enzymes which can destroy human tissue. He says squashing spiders can be hazardous because a lot of people, if they squash a spider, might wipe their eye with it. I don't know why you would.
Not wipe your eye with the spider, but
Yes.
wipe your eye with the residue that may be on your finger. See, kids do this. Now, remember I said ages ago about daddy longlegs? They've got a very potent venom. But the thing is, they're not capable of making a bite, on us anyway, and therefore we sort of treated daddy longlegs as a bit of a pest or
Bit of a joke.
And the kids...
A bit of a joke,
and
Bob.
the kids may well squash them with their hands and then rub their eyes. And this is sort of flesh-dissolving venom. You know, it's very painful, very potent stuff.
But do we normally, if we're going to brutally kill a spider with our fingers, immediately then rub our eyes with it? Is that some ritual, is it?
No, but it is possible, and they're saying, and the good doctor's saying, that many people admitted with eye problems may well have done this unconsciously. You know what kids are like. I mean, kids would get a spider and squash it or whatever, and they quite possibly rub their eyes. Maybe half an hour later, it's still there. The venom's still there. It's a
Make sure the kids are playing with rubber gloves on mums and dads.
or boxing glove.
Boxing gloves, yes.
Yeah, well, there you go. You see, that's something to think about, isn't it?
All right, Robert. Let's turn our attention to Movie Grab. We've got Garbage CD, beautiful garbage. That's our prize. Now, what have you got for us?
I'm trying to think what his name was now. It slipped my mind. Jackie Gleason played the cop,
Yeah.
the highway patrolman.
You want the name of the movie?
Yeah. And
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt
that's
Reynolds
right.
was in this movie?
And Burt Reynolds was in this movie. Who's
Actually,
the
I-
female star?
Sally Field.
Sally Fields.
It was on TV1 a couple of weeks ago, this was.
Was it?
Yeah, I saw it. Well, I didn't see it, but I saw the promo for it.
Actually, it was about that time when CB radio said, "Come on, good buddy, come on," and all that sort of stuff was around in the 70s. And Burt Reynolds, Sally Field starred in the movie, and the late Jackie Gleason was the actual big fat highway patrolman. He said this.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Yeah, well, thanks,
what he
Jack.
said.
Why did he say it like that, Bob?
I'm not sure, Rick. 6:22, this is HOFM.
Rushing now for Spotlight's home.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Oh, from bad audio. Hello, Jacinta, how are you?
Good.
That's
Okay.
good. What's that from, Jacinta?
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit's absolutely spot on correct.
And you've got yourself the CD Garbage, Beautiful Garbage. Jacinta, which school do you go to?
St Mary's College.
Okay.
St Mary's College. Well, have a lovely day today, Jacinta.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
darling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go. She pops in and gets that, no doubt.
She does indeed. Hey, man.
Yeah, man.
Hobart's MIX101, HOFM.
man.
We're getting down and swinging.
Yeah. Love your show, man.
Get a shiver in the...
MIX101 HOFM complete news and information for the Customs House Hotel, celebrating 155 years of trading.
It's just after 6:30, mainly fine, now 14 degrees. From the Hobart Newsroom, good morning, I'm Rebecca Dell. Afghanistan's ruling Taliban Authority has admitted suspected terrorist Osama bin Laden is still in the country. The Taliban says bin Laden is under their control and is hiding at a secret location. Reporter Major Garrett has the reaction from the White House.
The administration very steadfast, very resolute on this point. There will be no negotiations. The case has been made clear. They expect the Taliban to do as the president has demanded, which is hand over Osama bin Laden, all of his associates in the al-Qaeda network, all those other suspected terrorists in Afghanistan, and also to shut down all terrorist camps operating in Afghanistan.
Meantime, 8 foreign aid workers, including 2 Australians being held in Afghanistan, have been promised a fair trial. The case of West Australians Deanna Thomas and Peter Bunch has resumed in Kabul, with 7 of the 8 appearing in the closed court accused of preaching Christianity. All eyes are on Prime Minister John Howard today as speculation mounts he's poised to call a mid-November election. The cancellation of this month's Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Brisbane means Mr Howard could call an election as early as today, while the opposition remains confident that won't be the case. Mr Howard has refused to name possible dates, only saying Australia will go to the polls soon. Immigration Minister Philip Ruddock says Australia's deal with Nauru to process asylum seekers is driving people smugglers out of business. The tiny Pacific island has agreed to take another 262 boat people picked up by HMAS Tobruk last weekend. Mr Ruddock says the smugglers only get paid when their human cargo reaches Australia and their funds are quickly drying up.
They're under enormous pressure at the moment because of the steps that we've taken, and there is a possibility that we might be able to break the back of those operations through the approach that we've taken.
In other news from the Hobart News Desk, the Australian Nurses Federation and Australian Medical Association have praised the Royal Hobart Hospital staff for doing a great job dealing with the meningococcal infection cases. 4 young people treated as possible cases have been sent home after getting the all clear. The world's only fully operational semaphore communication system is now in Tasmania. The Tamar Valley signal stations have been recommissioned as a community project 165 years after they started transmitting shipping messages. The Bear All calendar from South Arm has delighted its stars. The women are now planning a second print run after selling out. Interest is not only coming from Tassie, but also interstate and overseas. And a new study has found taking a mega dose of vitamin C isn't going to get rid of the common cold. A team of researchers from the Australian National University in Canberra have conducted a trial with 400 volunteers over 18 months, finding no significant differences in the severity or duration of cold symptoms between the groups. News time 26 to 7, sport and weather's next.
You know, normally I avoid mornings by sleeping right through them. Well, that's what I like to do, because I'm good at it. But that got me thinking, am I sleeping my life away? Am I wasting a precious part of the day? And then I had this vision, man. A vision of a sausage and egg McMuffin right on my own TV. And I got to thinking, wow, maybe there's something worth waking up for after all.
Is a McDonald's breakfast calling you?
Yeah, thanks to sausage and egg McMuffins, I've discovered afternoon naps.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Ellison Hawker stocks local, national and international language newspapers.
Like to read your hometown paper? If it's Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra or the Gold Coast, you can get it at Ellison Hawker. And if you want to read all about it in your own language, check Ellison Hawker's international language newspapers. Ellison Hawker News Agency, an accredited Tattersalls outlet, 96 Liverpool Street, open 7 days with local, national and international language newspapers and magazines.
Mix 101 HOFM Sport for Metro Tassie Mariners.
The repercussions are still being felt from the AFL Grand Final. Tasmanian Alistair Lynch has announced he'll play on next year and try to reach his 250th. Mama Sean Wellman is now openly talking about the possibility of leaving Windy Hill and returning to Adelaide. And Kevin Sheedy has hinted he may need to make at least 6 changes to his list to be a contender again next year. And Newcastle has taken out Rugby League's Holy Grail, downing Parramatta 30 points to 24 in the NRL Grand Final at Stadium Australia overnight.
Mix 101 HOFM weather for Derwent Park Plumbing, Howard Road. Handy folks to know.
A shower or two possible during the early morning, then becoming fine. Mild with moderate norwesterly winds and a possible weak afternoon sea breeze. We're heading today for a top of 21 degrees. Tomorrow a few showers 15. Wednesday further showers 13. Showers redeveloping on Thursday 14 degrees. Currently in Glenorchy it's 16 degrees. It's 14 in the city.
Thanks. Sorry, Beck, go on.
Thank you. Hobart's only local and live FM news, HOFM.
Of course. We got a major hassle from the Eastern Shore. A tractor has come off the back of a truck at the overpass. That's to the scenic route, you know, as you turn round to the Botanical Gardens.
I do.
Well, just under that, a tractor is either clipped or fallen off the back of a truck, and those lanes are closed presently, and traffic is being diverted via the scenic route. So I don't know how long that's going to be. We'd better probably keep an eye on that one before they move the tractor truck or whatever. And don't know whether it's going to be a short job or whether it's going to be delayed. But anyway, traffic coming from the Eastern Shore is being diverted via the scenic route because those 2 lanes are closed at the present time.
So it clipped it as it was coming under the...
Well, I don't know whether it's clipped it or not, or whether it's fallen off or, you know, on negotiating the bend, slipped or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's hard to say.
While you're out there investigating that tractor incident, did you get any cameras?
No.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just getting the Wimo Cheerios because we, of course, get quite a few via the net now.
Yep.
And I've got one here for someone getting in early, the 29th of December.
Gee, that is early.
Yes, it's just getting in early.
Well, that goes in the Wimo book.
It does indeed.
Actually, not a bad idea to get them in early. Because
not
too early.
Not 3 months early, Bob. It does sort of send my wonderful filing system into a bit of chaos.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
you may get your birthday call 3 times until we get it right in December. Anyway, there you go.
Oh, you're a silly person.
Yep, I am.
Anyway, you're going to have delays from the Eastern Shore. If you're coming from the other side, the Lindisfarne way, it'd be better just going the Bowen Bridge way, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And giving the Tasman Bridge a miss for a while, at least half an hour or so anyway. And we'll keep you updated should we get a report on that. Clearance of the tractor that's come off the back of a truck on the, it's the western side of the river, so all traffic being diverted via that scenic route. So just bear with it for the time being.
At my signal, unleash hell.
Cook 'em all for breakfast.
This is Hobart's Mix 101 HOFM with Cooke and More. Today's Better Music Mix. It's a great story came to light last week. In fact, it's a story that's been going on for about 4 years, and that is the Police in Schools program, which was initiated by Acting Deputy Police Commissioner Lupo Prins, who worked with the college principal at Elizabeth College, and it's been a success story.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
It's sad days when we sort of have to think like this, but the point is it's a reality, and in so doing it's been reassuring for the students, for everybody involved actually.
Yeah. And actually this story was on Win News. It's a great story. Here's Lupo.
Is to help young people and stop them from becoming involved in crime and criminal activity, antisocial behaviour, very early in the piece.
If I was to get up and announce that we're not having a policeman in the college anymore, I'd be faced with a palace revolution, I'm afraid.
We interact with them quite strongly in that regard, in classroom environments, in sporting environments, and just generally casually around the campus, as you see here.
And the proof is in the results. A year ago, 17-year-old Callie-Ann Smith was a confused teenager who didn't much like police officers. Now she wants to be one.
I'm waiting until I turn 18 and then going to go and sit the exam and then practice for my bronze medallion, which is the main daunting thing about that.
So it's got to be a good story, don't it?
Got to be a great story.
Yeah.
And, like they say, prevention, better than cure. So, top story. There's 17 to 7. Now, we repeat, the tractor came off the back of a truck That's on the western side of the bridge, just under the scenic overpass. Whether it clipped it, whether it slipped, fell, whatever, we don't know. But a tractor did come off the back of a truck. Short time back, got a few calls on that. How long it's going to delay traffic from the eastern shore, I don't know, but it's being diverted, or was diverted, via the scenic route. So how long the effect of that's going to be, not sure.
What we've got to try and find out is whether the tractor was being taken to a farm to use in agricultural pursuits, or in fact was it being brought to town by a farmer hoping to trade it in on something. So if it's fallen off the back of a truck,
minimum trade,
it may need a bit more body work.
Fallen off the back of a truck, of course. Well, no, I think 16 to 7, shower or two possible during the early morning, then becoming mild. It's quite mild at the moment, 15, moderate northwesterly winds and a possible weak afternoon sea breeze about. A mainly fine one though, top 21.
Guarantee. Beck's going to tell us.
Yeah, Beck's going to update us with
HOFM. She's going to tell you. She's going to tell me.
Oh, she's going to tell you.
She's going to tell me.
All right, I'll go.
Why is that? Because you've given me money, Richard?
I gave you money this morning, dear listener.
Why you gave me money?
Yes, I'm just
because
about to.
I won a bet.
Yes, she won a bet in regards to the Brisbane Lions beating Essendon in the grand final. Okay, but that's not probably the big leading story, although it is has merit. What else is happening in the news at 7?
5 groups will be meeting today with Ansett Airlines administrators, and the Aussie Kids can help celebrate the International Day of the Older Persons.
Good.
Aussie Kids. We
had a report of that accident with the tractor coming off the back of a truck under the overpass, the scenic overpass there, blocking all eastern shore traffic in both those lanes, being diverted via the scenic route round the Domain and Botanical Gardens. We will update you on that. Beck just got a call from police, and I think it may be pertaining to that. So any other details we'll give you as soon as they come to hand, 12 to 7. Hey, Smiley.
What sort of day we got?
Not a bad one. Shower or two possible during the early morning. Well, I haven't seen it yet.
It did rain early this morning. It was around about 4 o'clock it was raining, and it also rained about midnight.
Yeah, that's not morning, though.
Yes, it is. 4 o'clock in the morning is morning. Where the hell do you think it is?
Yeah, I know it's morning, but who cares at 4 o'clock in the morning? Then becoming mild with moderate northwesterly winds and a possible weak afternoon sea breeze. In brief, mainly fine, top 21, 15 currently, which is tomorrow's maximum, by the way, what you got at the moment. Tuesday, a few showers, then it drops to 13. Wednesday, further showers. Thursday, 14, showers developing. Outlook Friday to Sunday, showers clearing Friday. And then, by all accounts, the Bureau reckon a fine weekend. Well, who can complain about this one?
Exactly.
Wasn't a bad weekend, was it? Really, overall?
Saturday was absolutely abominable.
What? Was it?
Windy.
Was it?
It was dreadful.
Oh.
You wouldn't know.
No.
You're inside.
Yeah. Huddled up.
Yes.
Inside under a rock. No, I just can't remember which day was which, but...
must have been a good grand final then, Bobby.
Oh, that's right, yes. Of course I was watching the grand final.
Oh, that's the excuse I got to use.
Yeah,
that's the one.
One day in September. God, it just went like that, eh? It's 11 to 7, HOFM.
Hobart's MIX101 HOFM with Cooke and Moore, Killing Heidi, and we are. The latest update from the police, re the truck and the tractor on the western side of the Tasman Bridge. It's affecting people coming into the city from the eastern shore. Basically what's happened is that the tractor has come off the back, or is about to lurch off the back of the truck.
It's either clipped or moved or whatever.
Yeah.
And they've closed off both those lanes coming into the city on the western side, just under the overpass there, diverted traffic via the overpass around the Botanical Gardens scenic route as it's known. At this point, they're going to try ASAP, another tow truck on the way. They're going to try to get that rectified so that at least one lane is open. But what the police are asking you to do now is delay your trip. Delay your trip for maybe half an hour if you can, or if you like, go the Bowen Bridge way. But otherwise, you're just going to get caught in the middle of it, and it's just going to bank up and cause more problems. So,
exactly.
Yeah, delay your trip if you can. 6.5 to 7. Now, footy.
The big highlight of the weekend.
2001 premiers, the Brisbane Lions! It's unbelievable. I mean, the amount of support we've had over this last week has just been absolutely incredible. It's fair and can blow me away.
I think it's fantastic for Brisbane, fantastic for the Lions, and fantastic for the AFL sport.
Lee Matthews and Michael Voss there talking about the Brisbane Lions win, and a great picture in the paper this morning. They took the cup And the flag back to the old Brunswick Street Oval where the old Fitzroy used to play. And, of course, it was a very... It's never easy, mergers and all these other sorts of things. They got, tear up their memberships and things. But
yeah, well,
there's
you
been
got
a bit
the
of a...
Lions come Fitzroy come...
The Bears.
The Bears, the Bears come whatever.
Yeah,
the Lions,
I think hopefully those old wounds have healed, Bob, in the name of football.
Well, it's just a sad thing that we lose those things, but inevitably things do change, and I suppose you either change with them or you just become disgruntled.
And the Bombers president says one flag in 3 years is just not good enough.
No, one flag in 3 years.
No.
Well, tell that to the Marines. There's a lot of clubs say 1 year, one in 30 years. It's coming up to 5 to 7.
Due to an overwhelming demand, historic Woodstock...
MIX 101 HOFM, complete news and information for the Customs House Hotel, celebrating 155 years of trading.
It's 7 o'clock, a mainly fine day, now 14 degrees. From the Hobart Newsroom, good morning, I'm Rebecca Dell. Discussions continue today to secure a buy for Ansett Airlines. On the same day, a new ticket tax for passengers comes into force. Anthony Clark reports.
Every air traveller on a domestic flight will be slugged a $10 tax to help fund the estimated $300 million in entitlements owed to staff of the collapsed airline. The federal government is vowing to pursue the carrier's owners and New Zealand to recoup that money, with the Kiwi Airlines board meeting with the New Zealand government today to shore up a financial lifeline and keep the banks at bay. Meantime, closer to home, 5 parties will continue their talks with Ansett administrators today to find a possible buyer for the airline.
The ruling Taliban authority in Afghanistan have finally acknowledged suspected terrorist Osama bin Laden is still in the country and is under their control. Meantime, the first humanitarian aid convoy since the attacks on New York and Washington has rolled into Afghanistan. Tom Mantier reports.
According to the World Food Programme, they have several other convoys making it in from all directions. They say from Tajikistan they expect a convoy to cross the border sometime in the next 12 hours to make supplies available in other parts of the country. So the humanitarian aid agencies, while being ordered to leave Afghanistan some time ago, are now trying to find ways to get at least relief supplies in.
In other news from the Hobart News Desk, Eastern Shore motorists heading to the city are being asked to delay travel if it isn't urgent, as both lanes into the city on the Tasman Bridge on the Western Shore are closed. A tractor hanging off a truck under the overpass is blocking both lanes. The scenic drive heading to the Botanical Gardens is open and traffic is being diverted through there. Some good news concerning the state's outbreak of meningococcal infection. 4 young people being treated as possible cases have been sent home after being given the all-clear. 2 men remain in ICU, but a 21-year-old Tasmanian man has been transferred to ward care in a stable condition. The redevelopment of St Anne's Homes in Old Beach has been officially completed. The $2 million project updating recreational facilities, centralising administration offices and connecting residential buildings for the 107 residents. Aussie kids can help celebrate International Day of Older Persons by entering their favourite stories or pictures of their grandparents in a special competition. Family and Community Services Minister Amanda Vanstone says it's the first time there's been a national award that pays tribute to the vital role grandparents play in the lives of their grandchildren. Checking finance, the Dow Jones Index will start the week up 166 points at 8,847. Gold is worth $292 an ounce. One Aussie dollar buying 49.31 US cents. News time 7:03. Sport and weather's next.
Premiering tonight on Austar.
My parents come from Tasmania. Mine come from Queensland. Mine come from Vallex.
Vallex parents are fun because they're totally off the planet. In My Parents Are Aliens. Premiering tonight on Nickelodeon on Austar.
Hey man, there's something new in the air. West Hobart Plumbing Center's changing the way to build that new bathroom. There's nobody out there who thinks differently like these boys. You should see their new showroom. Blues, greens, glass, stainless steel. You must go up there and see them boys, Larry, Adrian, and the team at West Hobart Plumbing Center at the top of Melville Street. They're really turning the bathroom world upside down, man.
Mix 101 HOFM Sport for Metro Tassie Mariners.
The grand final post-mortem continues for Essendon this morning, with Kevin Sheedy suggesting an off-season clean-out may be on the cards. Sean Wellman, who's tipped to possibly return to his hometown of Adelaide, is trying to play down the speculation. And in tennis, Chile's Marcelo Rios has downed German Rainer Schuttler 7-6, 6-2 to win the Salem Open in Hong Kong. Rios, a former world number one in 1998, needed just over an hour and a half to collect his second title of the season and his first in 9 months.
Mix 101 HOFM weather for Young's Pine Furniture Sorrel, specialising in pine and Tasmanian oak furniture.
Good morning, David James.
Good morning, how are you?
Oh, we're good, mate. We're good. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
You went for the Lions, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, thought you did.
That was more sentimentality than any sort of intelligence put into it, though.
Oh, well played off, eh?
Well, I don't think you'd be on your own there, mate.
No.
I'll tell you one thing, though. We've had a few calls, people getting tricked out with daylight saving. Not till next week, eh?
No, that's right. Yeah, I've heard a few people think it was the end of September, yeah.
David, what sort of day have we got for Monday, kick-off October?
Well, we've had a bit of a front go through during the night, and we had 5 mils of rain here in the city, and there is still the chance of a shower in the early part of this morning, but they should clear away and we should see fine for most of the day. We'll have northwesterly winds about 10 to 15 knots with a possible sea breeze this afternoon, and going for a maximum today of 21.
Okay. Now, please explain why tomorrow and Wednesday gets a bit cooler.
What tends to happen is you get different blobs of air move over you with different sorts of temperatures, and at the moment over the last few days we've had fairly warm sorts of temperatures over us, but that air is being replaced by some cooler air. So we've got a few showers tomorrow as the trough moves closer and a maximum of 15, and then much colder air arriving again then on Wednesday with some more showers and a maximum of 13, warming up a little bit on Thursday, still some showers about on Thursday though, and a maximum of 14.
So don't put the firewood away yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay. Well, it's show weather, isn't it?
That's right.
All right, mate. Thanks for that, David.
Okay, no
Thank you,
worries.
David. Bye now.
There's David James. Just been cut off tad there by
Rick Moore.
Quick-fingered Rick. Now, have you got any radars for Bennett's?
No, nothing there for Bennett's Furniture and Bedding. If you spot one, 62310277, we'll be happy to put it to air. The whole thing is, with a W, the whole thing is that we want you to slow down. Don't get caught, eh?
We do. The 21st is the date that we've picked out today for the birthday wheel. $1,000. Kick off another week, kick off another month with Cooke and More. Be careful now, Rick. So if you're born on the 21st day of any month in any year, be caller 6 on 62341017 at Hobart's Mix 101 HOFM. Hobart's Mix 101 HOFM. Today's better music mix. And, of course, Madonna with Beautiful Stranger.
Should know. Now,
don't say it like that, Bob. That infers something.
Not at all, not at all. She meets a lot of people. Now, Denise, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
What are you doing today, Denise?
Working.
Working?
Yeah.
Working.
Did you take an interest in the football activities over the weekend, Denise?
Oh, I'm not really a footy fan, so...
No? Okay.
No,
I'm not either. I don't follow the football, as you probably know.
Yeah, right.
But, no,
the Sydney Swans weren't in it. That was the end of that.
But I caught a couple of streakers after the football, so that was quite entertaining.
Oh, was it? I missed that.
No, well...
No, not at the football. It was just down the street that we were in.
Oh, down where you live.
Oh, okay.
Do a lot of people do that in Kingston? Is there sort of a new wave?
I don't know. It was quite entertaining, though.
Was it?
Good.
There's
nothing worse
better than the football.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a flabby streaker, though, is there?
No. Well, these ones weren't real thin.
No.
But they were enjoying themselves, so that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, of course it is.
Good. We went from the streets of Sodom. Let us now ask you, would you like to start the wheel in any particular decade, Denise?
No, just anywhere.
Okay, it's in the 30s.
What grabs your attention when you're not working? What do you like to do for your hobbies?
Oh, lots of things.
Yeah?
Play squash.
Squash? Sounds a bit too healthy for me.
And bicycling.
Yeah, bicycling's not too bad. I got the old bike out the other day.
Okay. Be interesting. Go on, Maury.
Why do I always have to do it?
Because you're a brave man.
All right, now, were you born in the 50s?
Yeah.
You were?
Okay, you were born in the 50s.
Okay, this is interesting.
It's come up in the 50s.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Well, yeah. Okay, now over to Bob.
Giggle,
brave Sir Bob, to